Good morning, almost good afternoon. Everybody take a giant deep inhale and a giant exhale and let it out. This has been such a beautiful, beautiful week. I am Heather Ruth. I am here talking about the 64 days of gratitude journey that Heather Ruth Whole Connections and her group Fuller Cup have been on. I am an intuitive life coach, a healer, numerologist, learning Reiki master in the making. Ooh, I just said that out loud for the first time. Anyway, what is life all about? If it's not a grateful heart, if it's not a complete acceptance and love for yourself, what is it all about? Really? I think all of this has taught me how to truly be truthful to myself and everything that I want and desire. And when you can find those pieces linked in and woven into gratitude, you elevate your vibration, your frequency, your everything just elevates, period. And this past weekend, I almost forgot to post on Saturday because I got so caught up in me doing me. And then, because I went skiing. And so that day was grateful for breath. And I stood at the top of the mountain and I took a deep inhale and an exhale. I removed my mask. I sat by myself. I allowed the fresh air and the breath to come in and remind myself that this was my truest form of self care when it started. But it was actually the most self love I had experienced from myself in some time. And so connecting back into breath is so powerful and so potent for us to connect back to our bodies. And so, if you're a yogi or you practice yoga or anything, you will know that it all starts in breath. And in breath is where we calm that nervous system down. It's where our parasympathetic nervous system can be triggered to rest and calm. And it's a way of centering our bodies back into a more connected, grounded version of what we desire. And this is really what's powerful about yoga. And it's also what's powerful about breath work is to reprogram our cellular structure within ourselves by first getting into that. I mean, when we meditate, we know, and there's scientific um, information and testing going all the time of how we can connect in that. And in meditation, it is first to get into that space, you do a breath count, or you just focus on your breath and like in and out and really good, steady breaths. And it is so powerful to transfer you to another place, to actually transfer your body into a state of rest and being at peace. Breath for me is exactly that. It's like a state of peace. And then on Sunday, we got into Grateful for Temptation. And I know when I was coming up with this, I wasn't 100% sure what it was that I was talking about, or why would I be grateful for temptation and not ungrateful. But I'm grateful for it because it actually teaches me all the things that I truly desire, either both light or dark, no matter what. And temptation shows me if I'm in alignment or not. And temptation has always been, for me, it's like that shiny object syndrome. And now when that comes up, I'm like, oh, I'm so grateful because it makes me pull back, stop and pause and have a really good look at why was I tempted in the first place? Why was I drawn to that? Why was I allowing that to tempt me and to pull me in? Even if it didn't feel good, what was it that I was out of alignment for? So again, it's another reset check. It's another setback into that alignment state. And it is powerful. And so that's one of the biggest reasons why, we get into this gratitude practice and really land here strongly of what is it that I'm grateful for? What truly is it? And it can be physical things, it can be material things, but it can also just be feelings and experiences and people. And so know that that is where the juicy pieces of gratitude land is that it is grateful for all of it. And then, of course, today, mm, day 43, grateful for soul friendships. And I am so grateful for all the friendships that I have been making over the years, that I've had in the past. And, friendships have never always been easy for me. I always thought that it was hard. And I had this running story in my head that I didn't make friends easily, which entire fact was I didn't even know what I wanted in friendships, to be quite honest with you, that would light me up and fill my soul. And these soul friendships that are coming up, the people that I'm meeting at such a different level, they're just filling me up. And I'm going to tell you, some of them I've only met over the computer. I haven't actually met them in person, and yet I still feel this most genuine connection to these people. And I know and trust that we will be in physical spaces very soon where we get to really feel that. And so these soul friendships that I'm making are ones that I don't have to talk to on a daily basis. I don't have to talk to on a weekly basis or even a monthly basis. Sometimes we just send text messages or, hey, thinking about you, or you came into my awareness, or, I really want to connect today, or whatever that might be, or look, it could just be a heart or a funny gift. And they just send that to you and they stay connected. Those are the friendships that are really rooted at the soul level. And they fill you up even in 2 minutes, and they fill you up even in like a second or even a thought. They fill you up. And that is what I craved in friendships. And it doesn't negate all the ones that I've had to that point, because some of them were soul friendships and everything serves its purpose or has its cycle. And as I started to learn this, is that some friendships were only meant to be a fleeting moment and some friendships were meant to be a lifetime. But there has to be a give and a take in that, right? A give and a receive in a friendship and in a relationship. We have to be giving of ourselves enough to be open and honest and truthful, but we also have to be willing to receive back from that friendship. And so if you're feeling that one's going out more than the other is coming back in, what are you not allowing yourself to receive from that? Right? These are the potencies of this message. And so I have some really potent soul friendships that I know are going nowhere. Even after 6 months of not talking to one of my friends for a really long time, um, every time we get together, we pick up right where we left off. There's no animosity. There's no, you didn't call me, I didn't call you. There's none of that. And we each reach out when we each require something from each other, or we're looking for that energy, or that just that like connection, that soul. We need, our soul is yearning for each other. And that's when we connect. And like, that is just so awesome, right? It's juicy information that you can get from these relationships. And I am making 10 handfuls. I couldn't even put all their names down of some of these most beautiful relationships that I am making. And so I don't name them individually. But what I love to do is capture them when we have an opportunity to capture them in person, capture that friendship. And I had one of the best conversations last Friday with my friend Heidi. And I just love her. And I don't even really know her like super well, but I feel like I've known her forever. That's what I mean. We've only just recently been introduced to each other into our spaces, and yet I feel like I've known her my whole life. And we can talk about anything and everything. And we land in that space, and it's just so lovely. And it's a space of love. It's a space of just pure love energy that we exchange while we're in that, and then we can feel it. So go out, have a look at those friendships that really, really, really challenge you to step up or raise your elevation, and do what you can to filter the things that pull you down. And it's really important at this time of year that we are super intentional with what we're grateful for, but also what we're connecting with. and making sure that it's in the abundant side of things versus the lack side of things. Because this time of year can really pull different muscles on ourselves, right? We got Christmas. And if what you think is Christmas is like a million giant boxes under your tree, and then you're not seeing it, then you feel this pull of lack and scarcity. So you got to get back into it and go, well, hey, you know what? It's not about the quantity, it's really about the quality. And if 2020 hasn't taught you anything, it is the quality of friendships that you have and the people in your life that you want to keep in. When you say, I don't know, and you're like, I know one thing, I don't want them to never be in my circle. That's a soul connection, a soul friendship that no matter what you know, they were always going to be a part of your life. Always. Because there's just pure love. So, take that for what it is, for whatever it is that you're out there to do. I know for myself, the shifts that I'm experiencing, the expansion, the growth, that gratitude had this particular gratitude journey has put me on is like next level of moving into that space of higher empowerment, higher love for myself, just living in that frequency that is like no other. Nothing really touches you when you're there, when you come from that space. You're not pulled into the suck, right? You are like flourishing and vibrating all the time. So, whatever it is that you can do to do that, reach out, let's connect. My calendar opens up again in January to take on some new clients, and I do a lot of one-on-one work, right? I work with people one-on-one. We dive into this conversation of what it is that we're feeling and how do we get back to that body connection, to that feeling connection so that we can be whole in ourselves. So, anyway, I love you. I see you. I'm sending so much love out to you and your family and everyone else in the world during this time of season. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I'm super grateful for you here, whether you are on the replay, whether you watched me live, whether you catch me 3 weeks from now. Thank you. Thank you.